comments and on Facebook, and immediately got a like and a comment from Jonathan Burton. Those of you who remember Jonathan from Social Coaster. And this guy is out there taking names and kicking you know what, and growing his business, and they just rolled out an updated version of the application, doing crazy good things. And he just said, miss you guys. So I shared, likewise, Jonathan Burton, we're watching you in the Social Coaster and rooting for you. Come back whenever you can. I just wanted to share that.
Awesome.
This, he's in Nashville. This gets watched. So, all right.
Which is funny, because I was going to say, it is okay, pick up your phone and go ahead and check in on whatever social media that you're on, and say that you're at Brothers Barbecue and that you're here this morning at Hopkins County 1 Million Cups. Please do that, because that's how it spreads. Just like you said, Jonathan
Tweet,
saw it, and other
Facebook,
people
whatever.
are going to see him. So please do that for us. That would be a very big help. And we are, you know, my tweeter back here.
Twitter.
You're a tweeter on Twitter, so you're a tweeter. Okay, so our next presenter is Bonnie Young Turley. She has a brand new business in town that she's going to tell you all about. We're real excited because she's going to help everybody kind of chill out. So, take it away, Bonnie.
I'll go ahead and warn everyone, I was up until like 3 painting in the office, so I'm a little bit of a train wreck this morning. So I'm opening what's called Synergy Counseling and Wellness Center. And Synergy, basically the whole idea behind it is a holistic healing for your body, mind, and spirit. So I'm not only going to be offering the mental health counseling part of it, but I'm also offering yoga, breathing techniques, things of that sort. I just completed my master's degree in professional counseling and human development, and was approved by the Kentucky Board of Professional Counselors to be in private practice and to be a professional counselor. My past experience has been, well, for the past year, I was the only mental health therapist provided at Trilogy, which is a long-term recovery facility in Hopkinsville for substance abuse for women. And the things that I learned while I was there, it's amazing. The type of strength that the women brought in, the type of that guarded sense of self that they put up whenever they walked into my office that first time. But then the second or third time that they were in my office, the way that they would open up was a life-changing event. Not only that, but as a yoga instructor for the past 2 years at Fitness Formula, I've also grown in a way that has helped others and helped myself with anxiety, with stress management, and so forth. Trauma is in the eyes of the beholder. Trauma could be that your cat passed away. Trauma could be that you were in a car wreck and almost died. Trauma is whatever was traumatic to you, whatever had that effect on you. Trauma is stored in the body. I don't know if you've heard of muscle memory, but muscle memory stores everything we've been through. And within that muscle memory, a lot of times when we've been through trauma, our muscles store it. And unless we learn how to release it, our bodies will continue to store it. You've heard of the fight or flight response. Take a child that's been abused since they were a young child, and into adulthood, you notice that this person is aggressive, always into fights, maybe that they are abusive themselves to their partners or to their child. That's because their automatic response has kicked in. It's that automatic fight or flight. And so with the yoga, you learn how to release the muscles. You learn how to release the body. You learn how to breathe through the different type of emotions that come up within you. Whereas with talk therapy, which is the mental health or substance abuse counseling that I do, you learn how to cope with it on life's terms. You know, living life on life's terms. I'm sure that we have all had trouble with that at some point in time. I know that I have. And so Synergy is there to offer both sides of it. You might want to come for yoga and come to some of my yoga classes and not therapy, which is completely fine. Maybe you're just wanting to, you know, concentrate on the physical aspect of it. Maybe you want to just do the counseling part of it, completely fine. Maybe you would like to take part in both and work on the physical, the mental, the spiritual part of what's going on within you. Our community has had very limited resources for mental health therapy and substance abuse therapy. There's been a handful, maybe a handful of private practices that have started up within our community. The majority of the court system has to refer to Penny Rural Mental Health, which is our community-based services, with our community mental health. And because of that, they're overran. They are overbooked, and they're not readily available most of the time, unfortunately. So, providing these services has also offered different referral sources, and which is something that I've worked on through the court systems. I've worked on through private practice, family doctors, things like that, who have said that they were excited and ready to send referrals my way. So there have also been a lot of those practices that have been referring people outside of our community. So say they don't want to refer them to Penny Rural or one of the other places. I used to have a teacher that timed us out whenever she was there. She's like, "You're done." Keep going. You're good. I've already lost that train of thought.
Can you tell us more about your business? There you go.
Okay. Well, since I lost that thought, the ADD just kicked in.
Like for people outside of the community.
Oh, yes. A lot of the APRNs, the nurse practitioners who prescribe the mental health medications, things like that, family doctors, even at Baptist and at Multicare, end up referring people outside of our community to Owensboro, to Clarksville. They've told me, I don't refer them into Hopkins County because I have nowhere to refer them to. So that is telling me that there is a need. Actually, I knew there was a need before they told me that. But to know that people have been taking that business outside of our community when it could be staying here is absurd. It's not normal. Most people coming out of my degree, coming out of school directly, do not start private practice. They go to work for community mental health. They go to work for another private practice. However, because I feel like I have had a lot of exposure in many different ways, in life experiences, in professional ways, I feel confident in my clinical skills as a counselor. And so does my supervisor. I will have a supervisor for 4,000 hours who I meet with weekly. That's who I will bill my Medicaid under. And she has been in private practice for more than 10 years. She's a licensed clinical psychologist, and she's never supervised anyone because she has never trusted someone's ethical and clinical skills and judgment to allow them to practice under her license. Her license is on the line. This is also the professor who was in charge of my internship all through school. So she saw all my counseling videos. We talked constantly. We consulted constantly. And at the end of school, whenever I asked her, would she be my supervisor, she was thrilled and said, I never said yes, but I'm very excited to embark on this journey with you. To me, that says a lot.
Other than the lack of, that there's been the spotty history with these sort of services being available in our community, why did you choose here just to do your practice?
It's my home.
This is home. Okay.
You know, whenever I went back to school, it was my goal to bring these services to Hopkins County. Like I said, I'm from Hopkins County, born and raised. My dad owned a business here for more than 30 years. And my mom's owned a business here for more than 20. And because of my life experiences, and going down the wrong path several times, making terrible decisions many of times, I saw different things in this community that are earth-shattering, that a lot of people wouldn't imagine are out there. A lot of people can't even begin to imagine the things that go on in this community. And I've seen it, I've been on the forefront of it. And so it's been my goal ever since I started school, back to school, to address that. To bring support, to bring hope, to bring encouragement and empowerment to our community, because we need it.
Did you add the yoga aspect of it for the calming, the peace, or are you using it? I watched a video not too long ago of a gentleman who had no upper strength and no body strength, and he had the canes, he couldn't do anything, and he tried so many different things, and he tried yoga, and now he's running down the beach and stuff, and they're on Shark Tank. So,
Absolutely.
So it'll provide core strength and stuff.
Absolutely.
But given your degree and what you're doing, I know yoga also works to calm your mind and do some other things. So explain the relationship there and what someone can anticipate they come in there for either one of those.
Okay. Well, you know, like you said, the relationship between the two, the calming of the mind, awareness of the body, noticing if your body is going into that automatic fight or flight response, how to recognize it and control it, or recognize it and work through it. However, for the strengthening part, yes, that's where the wellness comes in, the physical aspect of it. You know, you may just be interested in the upper body strength. I have several women that have been taking yoga from me at Fitness Formula for 2 years, the 2 years I've been teaching, and they constantly talk about their upper body strength, their core, their strength physically has completely changed. And many of my students are 50, 60, 70 years old, and they are busting out push-ups and going into downward facing dog like you wouldn't believe. You know, so the strength part of it. Yoga is very important for our bodies because how long do we sit at a desk during the day? That shortens our muscles. Or standing constantly, what does that do to our backs? So yoga is all about creating space in the body, getting the blood flow going, bringing oxygen to those parts of our bodies that are often neglected. How many times do we pay attention to our feet, or stretch our feet, or stretch our toes? But think how much we use our feet and our toes. I mean, really, all day, every day. So it's bringing the awareness of the different parts of ourselves so that hopefully we can maintain a physical health as well as the mental health.
This is kind of interesting that, you know, Sarah was talking about the aspect of you're not from here, and that was like a big deal for people trying to start businesses, and we went into that. Well, I can see where, and I think some people have even mentioned this to me about they go to counseling in like Evansville or somewhere because they are from here, and they, you know, as my mother used to say, don't air your dirty laundry. You know, they want to take it somewhere where nobody knows them. So how do you answer that? How are you gonna combat that issue?
Well, you know, that's gonna be an issue for anyone that opens a private practice here. However, my goal is to hopefully gain the build rapport with the community, making myself known, allowing others to see me for who I am, and hopefully believing that their business, their dirty laundry will be safe with me. I'm very open with my past decisions. I'm very open with my past mistakes, because for me, that's what's brought me to where I am today. I'm a graduate of drug court in Hopkins County, 2011. I have made many bad decisions, and I think that, I hope that me being honest about that part of myself, me allowing others to know me as an individual on a personal level, will encourage people to open up to me. I am, whenever it comes to ethics and morals and values, as not only a professional, but as a person, as a human being, as an individual, as a part of the society, it is a major deal to me, and I take it very seriously. As far as keeping it confidential also within the yoga and the counseling, none of my counseling sessions will be scheduled 30 minutes before or after any of my yoga classes. And of course, all of my clients will know when those are scheduled. So if they are concerned with people, you know, knowing that they're coming for counseling, they can, you know, kind of arrange when they arrive accordingly. I've heard that so many times also. And
It's funny, I was just thinking where your practice is gonna be, but you're gonna have to tell us about that too. Luckily, you don't have like on-street parking right in front of your building either, because I get, believe it or not, I get people that call me and say, hey, did so-and-so come see you today? Because I saw their car in your parking lot. And I'm like, hello, we don't talk about that. You know, it's funny, but, you know, it's a small town, and there we are, and everybody knows what everybody's car looks like, so.
I make it very well known. You know, I've already run into problems being a trilogy, having clients who maybe I'm friends with their parent, you know, occasionally, you know, not real good friends, but acquaintances, and they find out that I'm their therapist, and they try to call, and they're like, hey, you know, did so-and-so do something because they're on lockdown? And I'm like, well, I don't even know who you're talking about. I can't confirm nor deny that I even know who the person is, much less if they're where you say they are. So I've actually had to tell people, you know, if you're going to continue to ask me questions, you know, I can't answer any of these questions for you, and we're going to have to kind of distance ourselves or refer out. I've referred out several times, probably about 3 or 4 times because of situations like that. And I have no problem referring out whenever I cannot, you know, either work, you know, I'm never going to practice outside of my scope or so forth.
So where's your business?
My business is on Main Street, 14 North Main. So if you know where the apartments are on Main Street, so if you're standing outside of Farrell's, you don't know where Farrell's is, you look across the street, down just a little bit, where the apartments are, I'm right under there. I think Legal Shield is on one side, and I'm on the other side. Thank you.
So I'm wondering, I kind of take it, do you specialize in substance abuse counseling? Is that your specialty, or are you just kind of open to everything?
I very much so welcome everything.
Do you have a relationship with the Department of Corrections or anything like that? I know they have several that need, you know, I know Madisonville is one of the areas that they discussed that they need more treatment counselors.
Absolutely. I'm currently, I just need to turn in my application, but I will be a CADC, so it's a certified drug and alcohol counselor, very soon. I just have to turn in my application and take.
State, her name's Dr. Kelly Chocolbar. and she specializes in substance abuse treatment. And they have a program here at Murray State, Madisonville, for social workers that she's over, and their students are always in need of some clinical experience. So you may talk to Heather Roy or develop a relationship with Dr. Chocolador out of Murray State and help build these new students up.
Absolutely. I went to school.
Because we're looking for people to stay in Madisonville.
Absolutely. I went to school at Lindsey Wilson, of course, the weekend program that was, the extended campus here in Madisonville and Henderson. So, that program as well. But yes, it is. I really want to help these students gain some experience.
I'm going to take a note from Marion, and it's a two-parter question.
Good job. I'm gonna need some water.
One, what is your fee schedule going to be like, and are you going to be able to accept insurance?
During my 4,000 hours that I have a supervisor, I'm currently working on being approved for Medicaid, which we can all, I don't know if y'all know, can be a very annoying task. But I do have someone that's working on that at this present moment. Until then, private pay. After my 4,000 hours, I will be able to apply to any insurance. It's just during that first 2 years or however long it takes to get to 4,000 hours that it will be Medicaid once I am approved and my supervisor is approved, and private pay. What was the other question?
Fee schedule, for your yoga classes and your therapy sessions.
My therapy sessions for private pay, it's going to be $40, $45. However, I'm also looking at the fact of their financial stability. I'm not going to tell somebody that I cannot help them or cannot see them because, they can only pay $10. But I'm going to consider that. I'm going to look at that very heavily too. I'm not going to base my business on that. However, I am, because of, like I said earlier, the forefront that I've seen, and I know the need, it would be very hard for me to turn someone away and say I can't.
What about your yoga classes? How much are they going to cost? Sorry.
The yoga classes, they're going to be
They're up to 4 parts.
Yeah.
$8 a class for drop-in. I'm also going to have a 6 class pass. It's good for like 2 months. So, and that'll be, like you pay for 5 classes, but you get 6, things like that.
You're right across the street from me. When do they start?
My goal is February 2nd. However, a pipe busted yesterday.
Yeah.
And so my floor is like wet. They had to like cut out part of the wall, and I'm sitting there going, oh my gosh. So that is my goal. However, I am trying to be relaxed, flexible, and I'm trying to be patient.
Bonnie, I heard the caring, compassionate side come out when you were talking about mayor source and how it would be difficult to turn someone away, and I appreciate and respect that. However,
Tough luck.
your business clearly, but from the peanut gallery, I would suggest to you a couple of thoughts. Not only the sustainability of a business obviously depends on cash flow, but also the reputation for you valuing your services. I don't think you want to get it out there that, oh, well, she's really the same as Penny Royal Mental Health. You can be the path to her door, and she's going to take you in, and all you got to do is tell her, "Now I can only pay you $5," and she'll take you. So for what that's worth, keep the caring and compassion, but keep in mind your practice is a business.
Absolutely.
I think somebody else wants to speak to that over there.
Yeah, although I don't want to interrupt either.
No, I'm done.
No, you can go first though.
Oh.
I don't really have a question, I just have more of a comment. I've been with a friend of Bonnie since she started this journey, Lindsey Wilson, when she made a decision to go to undergrad, and the decision to go to grad school, and I just want to let you know, as your friend, I'm so proud of you.
Let me respond. Let me respond to this one real quick. Whenever I say looking at where they come from, someone that's just coming out of jail, I just worked for the past year. I've worked with a reentry grant at Penny. And so I struggled with the resources available when someone's being released in 2 months and they don't have a place to live, they don't have clothes to put on their body, they came into jail naked for whatever reason, and things like that. If they need that initial assessment for the court or whatever, that's the kind of thing that I will look at. Whenever they are being released from jail and they are giving an effort, that's something I'm really going to look at, because I want our reentry program and our the inmates that are released back into our community, I want them to have a chance. So, but yes, very much so, the business aspect, absolutely.
I do want to, first of all, I want to say thanks for starting this in town. 10 years ago, I was involved with a nonprofit in Crittenden County. I'm a freelance writer, and I was helping them prepare, and they, 2 independent studies in Crittenden County, one by UK and one by some kind of, I don't think the CDC, but another thing. One came at 38%, one came at 41%. The percentage of adults in Crittenden County who were addicted, not having one-time use, but addicted to either Oxycontin or methamphetamines 10 years ago. 41 to 38%, 2 independent studies confirming one another. And they were gathering this data. This nonprofit had basically used this data to get grant funding to pay for counseling services in Crittenden County. So it's such a need, I can't imagine here, and so thank you for bringing it to our town. I also like what Mark said about fees. There are, you can be compassionate with those referrals. I think that I would really encourage you, don't back in the door with your price. Set it what you need it to be confident in it, and do that. And it's hard, but you can be confident. You can be compassionate with that answer. I would just really encourage you, and I wish you nothing but luck, because we all need it in this town.
I'm going to swing it completely, depend on the other way, because that's what I like to do anyways. First of all, I agree with them on the price points. Even if you said you need to do, if you do this much community service as valuation for the offset of price point or something, so that where that value is what it should be on the hourly basis, that'll help maintain your integrity across all platforms of your customers. I consider myself a fairly abrupt, strong, and opinionated person.
No.
We both on that. You don't talk that way at all.
I have no problem going to see a counselor, and I have done that in the past. I had 3 parents die in 3 years. I had, major upheaval and all kinds of stuff, and having a physician or a place to go to where you can just spout off and say, this is what I'm doing, my mind's crazy, help me find a path through that, is so invaluable. So I applaud you for what you're doing, and I just want to kind of give you perspective to both sides of that, because even just normal community people who you don't assume have issues, do have issues, and being able to talk that out and being able to do it here locally is amazing. It's an amazing opportunity. We had Alzheimer's, my father-in-law had Alzheimer's, and it was just, what do we do? Oh my God, and being able to talk to someone who could clinically look at what your reaction is to kind of help you guide yourself through those reactions, helped us to get him in a better way, so that we had more time with him in a way that wasn't so frustrating and upsetting and overpowering. So that's great. Good job.
Really great, worth the wait, thank you so much. Does anybody have anything they feel a burning desire to say or tell us, or anything like that? I do want to mention really quickly, if you saw this little blurb on the back, thank you so much for putting information about the sunrise sessions, but we are no longer meeting at Ollie's, and to be announced, we're
formulating our formula, as it were, and it's gonna be something cool and exciting and a lot of good networking, so don't show up at all tomorrow morning, 'cause we won't be there. Thanks for coming today. This was a very full, information-packed hour, and